Today, I want to talk about one of the most unplayable cards in EDH, Field of Ruin. Okay, so for those whom may not, Field of Ruin is a colorless land, comes into the battlefield untapped, and you can pay 2 to sacrifice it, destroy target non-basic land and opponent controls. And basically, they get a basic land from their deck and put it into the battlefield. But it actually doesn't exactly do that. But basically, that's what it does. But the main thing, the reason why it's so unplayable, and the main reason why I sort of skipped over a little bit of the text here, is that not only that player does this, because usually this card's played in standard and modern and formats like that and whatnot. And in those formats, it's fine because you have one opponent and whatnot. Because it actually says each player searches their library for a basic land card, puts it into the battlefield tapped. That's good for you because, hey, you get, to sacrifice your Field of Ruin and get, a land back for, getting rid of your own land, and your opponent is down a land that was probably really good for them and now just has a random basic land. The problem that happens in EDH is that, well, now you have 2 more opponents rather than just the opponent that you just destroyed their land. And yes, I think land destruction to a degree is slightly overrated, but I think that land destruction when it's on a land is pretty darn good because at least you're not having much opportunity cost to put this card into your deck. And when people have Gaia's Cradles and things like this out there in the wild, it is a pretty decent card type in a sense to put into your decks. But this card isn't. This card isn't what you want to be doing. You don't want to give your other 2 opponents a free land. Like, I see so many people playing this card in so many decks, and it's actually in over 37,000 decks on EDH Rex deck data, which is 4% of the over 1 million decks that it can go in. That is ridiculous to me. This card should see literally no play in this format because you, again, unless you're playing some sort of really weird group hug deck, I just don't see the point in it. I know what the main reason is why people run it is because it doesn't sort of cost you a land, but don't care. Like, don't care about that it loses you a land when you play Ghost Quarter and some of these other things, or Straight Mine or whatnot. If you want to play some form of land destruction like this, or non-basic land destruction at least, don't care that you don't get anything out of it. Just care that your other 2 opponents don't get anything out of it, because you don't want to give someone a free land and be like, oh, okay, cool, now I pass my turn, and now the first player that I gave a free land to is like, oh, cool, I now have 1 additional free mana and I'm just going to tap out and potentially win the game or whatnot. Or not even that, even if that's not the worst case scenario, that's probably is the worst case scenario, but what if they just play something really, really good and then it's like, well, what do I do now? I gave them that additional mana and now they're able to cast this thing. So it's just giving your opponents resources that you don't need to give to your opponents. The opponent that you, destroyed a land, it's not great to give them a land, but if you need to get rid of one of their permanents urgently, it's like, well, I haven't got much choice. I've got to Assassin's Trophy it sometimes, or I've got to, Ghost Quarter it sometimes or whatnot. So that's okay. I'm at least getting rid of their Guy's Cradle or whatever for now, because I don't want them to have that. But yeah, playing this card, no, just take it out, put something else in, anything else, it's fine. Don't play this. This is terrible. No, just no. Sorry to anyone who thinks that this is good, or it is good, but it's not good in this format. if it was something else, or if you have like certain cards, yeah, sure, like if you have Agent of Treachery and things like that, then it's probably pretty good. Or if you have Ashiok, the Ashiok planeswalker that stops people from tutoring, or if you have even Mind Sensor or effects like that that basically say opponents can't tutor, or opponents can only tutor the top uh, 4 cards of their library or something like that, and things like that. So yeah, like you don't want to run this card unless you've got a lot of other things, and then that's just making this card a little bit better, but it's also making like some of the other cards in your deck a little bit better, I would say, as well. But like you just still don't want to run this because it's still just like too much other work to get, that little bit of extra value or something out of it, I guess. So it's just not really that worth it. I would just run Ghost Quarter or Strip Mine over this. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this. You can go let me know your thoughts. Write them down there in the comments below. I'll be sure to try to respond to any and all comments. I really do love interacting with you guys, talking about ideation, all these geeky things that we love. So yeah, I'll see you down there in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Hey, you've just finished watching one of our videos. A bunch of other videos are popping up on your screen now for you to check out, so why not check them out?